Let us pause for a moment. Eternal Spirit, Creator, we look beyond our human understanding for strength and guidance. This day, as we gather as fellow Kiwanis before you at this meal to honor one of our own, we give thanks. We give thanks this day that we are again permitted to gather in this fellowship. We ask that our friendships be strengthened, our lives be broadened, and our passion for service renewed. For this day, for this food, for those gathered at this table, we offer thanks. Amen.
Amen. So, welcome to the meeting of the Kiwanis Tablet of Honour, which is something I've never thought of. So, my name's Ian Taylor, and of course, I'm with the All Capital Kiwanis. Peter volunteered me tonight to be the MC. It seems that we have in this room a number of overrun with past governors. So recognize some of our past and present leaders. Our current governor and another past governor, Roy Bird. The district secretary treasurer and a past governor, their Bannister. Past Governor Bernard Pierce. Past Governor Dick Southwood. Where's Dick? Past Governor Richard Leswire. In case you're wondering, Richard is recording all this for posterity. So remember that you're it can go fireworks tomorrow if we're not careful. Unfortunately, the meal is not quite all set up. So I'm going to move some Kiwanis business from the end of the meeting to now. So, Krista, you want to talk about Kiwanis one day? See? We didn't get forgotten.
This Saturday, we are celebrating Kiwanis one day with Little Warriors. We will be working at the Green Grave Ranch. There is directions to the ranch just over there. It is just outside our Dawson. At this Kiwanis one day, we will be painting, cleaning, scrubbing, sanding, possibly installing any sort of task they need for the ranch. If you are unaware of the Grave Ranch, it is a facility that is fully equipped with sporting areas and cabins, and it is going to be used as a treatment center and a retreat for children of sexual abuse. They receive no public funding whatsoever, so all of the money they raise are from organizations such as us and from private members of the industry. They are working really hard with a hopeful opening date of June 4th. So when we're out there, they're going to be very, very grateful, and they will definitely put us to work. A couple notes: if you are coming out, if you're able to provide a ride for someone, please let me know. We will be starting at 9 a.m. promptly at the ranch. It takes about 45 minutes to get out there. And please wear closed-toed, proper work shoes, long pants, dress for the weather, be prepared for mess. And if you have long hair, like people with flowing locks, please tie it back. Again, the instructions to get to the ranch are just over on the table there by Peter. There was an email circulated around. It should have been done today with my email. So if you have any questions, you can either ask me this evening or give me an email, and my phone number is also on the email. You can give me a call.
Thank you.
Any questions right now?
What's for lunch?
And put the priorities first.
Whatever you paint. They are going to feed us out there for lunch. If you have any dietary restrictions, please let me know so that we can make appropriate accommodations for you. Thank you very much.
When I was doing the introduction, I am remiss, I didn't introduce the international trustee from Circle K. Who wants to get up and say a few words anyway? So please, Lauren.
Hi everyone, so I'm from Circle K. We're hosting a spring gala on May 2nd, which is quickly approaching, so I know there's a bit of short notice, but it's for a really great cause. So who here knows all about the Eliminate Project? Everyone, I know. So just to keep it short, basically, it's, our Spring Gala is going to be a fundraiser for the Eliminate Project. Last year, we held this event just around the same time, around Mother's Day, and we were able to raise over $2,000 for the cause. And so we're hoping to raise just as much as upcoming year. So tickets right now are $35 for students and $48 for adults. And just because you're young at heart, unfortunately, you're not going to be considered a student. So just to let you all know.
A full-time student.
Sorry?
Does it have to be a full-time student?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can talk to me and we can discuss further. It's going to be at the Wild Rose Room at Lister, which is just off campus. And I have tickets here, so if you're interested in attending, you can let me know. We're going to have a silent auction, a little bit of entertainment, a great presentation, and of course, it's just going to be a fun night with some Circle K's, Kiwanis, members of the community, and we're all coming together for a great cause. So I did get down Brian's email address, so I'm going to send him some more information. He can send it out to all of you in case I spoke a little bit too quickly. But again, you can approach me for if you have any further questions, or again, I have tickets on me. So, any questions right now? No? Okay. Well, thanks for listening.
So it looks like the food is ready. So maybe one of the colonels at this table, one of the many colonels, can take the lead and get in the food line. All of everybody else. Of our guest of honor, past Governor Colin Reichle. And I would like to call upon past Governor Mary Pierce to say, hopefully, a few kind things about Colin. I wouldn't guarantee Hello, everybody. Hello. Well, let me tell you, you'll notice the back of my sheet here. We just had your bio fall into the camel over there. So Lee says I should give a short, fiery speech. Hopefully it'll be quick. So I am here to give a short speech on Colin's public service highlights. I was either fortunate or unfortunate enough to follow Colin twice. First, I was right after him when he was Lieutenant Governor, and I followed him as Lieutenant Governor, and then I followed him as Governor. So I was fortunate enough to travel with him and experience lots of things, but I had to follow him, which is a pretty crappy job because he's got some pretty big shoes to fill and he does a pretty good job, so it's a pretty high bar to set. So when Peter and Ian asked me to put this together, I got a copy of Colin's actual service biography, and I wanted to try and make it so that we could condense this so that it wasn't a 3.5-hour meeting. And literally, I cut 3 pages out of this document for you, and it's 8.5 pages long. So what's important to know about that is that obviously we've got a gentleman here that knows the word service, and not just to Kiwanis and to other causes. So I'm going to give you just some brief highlights on the man and some of the stuff he's done. And hopefully some of it is fiction and some of it is the truth. So Colin was born shortly after the Earth cooled in Prince Albert in the People's Republic of Saskatchewan. He is married to Melanie and he has a son, Nicholas, and a daughter, Kimberly. For education, he has a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Alberta in political science. Saskatchewan. I'm reading the word.
He's a no. I think he knows.
Yeah, he's kind of informed. So, and then in 1987, he's got a certificate of local government administration and education administration from the University of Regina. And then in 1997, a pretty big highlight, a Master's of Business Administration from Athabasca University. Most of you will know that Colin was a soldier by trade.
1973, he joined the Canadian Armed Forces as an infantry private in the North Saskatchewan Regiment, and then was stationed in luxurious places like Petawawa, Gagetown, and then Large Germany. He moved to Shiloh in 1982 as a young captain, and then in 1990 as a major and a deputy commanding officer in Saskatoon, and then finally here in 1993 as a major and deputy commanding officer of 20th Field Artillery. From 1993 to 96, he was a lieutenant colonel and still holds that rank today. And as you know, there's a whole bunch of colonels, so there's an esteemed company today. In the military, he has a Special Service Medal from NATO, a Canada 125 Medal, a Queen's Gold Jubilee Medal, and the Canadian Forces Decoration. So a decorated soldier with a long history. Colin's Masonic page is almost 2 pages long, so I'm just going to give you the quick highlights. He's a past Grand District Superintendent and a past Deputy Grand Master. And he is a member of the Legion of Honor of the Al Shmal Temple of Shriners, and a life member of just about every other Masonic recorded body. From 1990 to 2012, Colin was involved in some way, shape, or form with St. John Ambulance, and has achieved numerous awards from both the brigade level and from the employment level. He's worked for St. John's as well. He is a commander of the most venerable order of the Hospital of St. John of Jerusalem, and that is where he achieved his Alberta Centennial Medal. A member from 1991 to 2012 of the Edmonton United Services Institute, as president of the Board of Governors and as well as a member, planned and did many great things with the United Services Institute of Canada, including something most of you have probably heard of, the Battle of Britain, that is held every year. Royal Life Saving Society of Canada, bronze medal, silver medal, gold medal, benefactors medal, centennial medal, just a few awards. A project that most of you know well from here is Camp Health, Hope and Happiness, Camp ECOHOP. Colin was elected as a director in 1998, served for many years, and is a past president and director for in 2004 and 2006, and raised over $200,000 for roof replacements and camp benefits. A member of the Royal Commonwealth Society of Canada, is founding chairman and vice president, which is what led to his selection for Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal. The Military and Hospitality Order of St. Lazarus of Jerusalem, a member of merit, an officer of merit, a commander of Military and Hospitality Order of St. Lazarus. I'm hoping I'm getting all this stuff right now. Keep moving, and I'm going to just shorten it because the pages are very long, and Alberta Professional Outfitters Society, Canadian Association of Student Activity Advisors Council, Canadian Learning Trust, Wilmore Wilderness Preservation Historical Foundation, Safari Club International, Monarchist League of Canada, Canadian Club of Edmonton, Portugal Canada Chamber of Commerce, Royal Canadian Union Association. But the most important is the service to Kiwanis International and why we're here tonight. So I'm going to give you his Kiwanis timeline. 1998 to 2014, he was of course a member of the Kiwanis Club of South Edmonton, which is all of you here today as well as visitors. 2004 and 2005, as I mentioned, he served as Lieutenant Governor of the district, or Sugar Division. 2004, a chartering officer at Kiwanis Club of Yellowknife. 2005-2006, Governor of Western Canada District. 2007-2011, a founding member of the Kiwanis Club of North Edmonton. A constant director of South Edmonton Kiwanis Foundation. 2007-2011, a director of the Kiwanis Foundation of Canada. 2011 to 2013, president of the Kiwanis Foundation of Canada. And then 2012 until just today, international trustee for Canada for Kiwanis. And his awards, 2003, he was the Kiwani of the Year for the Kiwanis Club of South Edmonton. He is a diamond member for the Zeller Fellowship, a diamond member for the Mel Osborne Fellowship and the Kiwanis Foundation of Canada, diamond member Hickson Fellowship, G. Harold Martin Fellowship for Kiwanis International, and a member of the Kiwanis International Heritage Society. The list is long and obviously near to most of us. His service is legendary. As I say, I've done 3 pages here, and
not able to be here tonight, we wanted to wish you well, Colin. Member of the South Edmonton Club, the Honourable Dave Hancock, Premier of Alberta. Hoped to be here, but unfortunately his time commitments were otherwise. He did, however, provide a letter, which I will read. Dear Colin, it is a great pleasure to extend my warmest wishes and congratulations to you as you are honored by Kiwanis for your extensive service to the community. Colin, you've always demonstrated what a person can do with enough energy, determination, and discipline. Your service and leadership is legendary and inspiring. It is not an exaggeration to say that you are a powerhouse of productivity. I have personally witnessed your exceptional skills coordinating and facilitating many events for Kiwanis International and countless other organizations. Although you have received many well-deserved awards for your accomplishments, I know that being recognized by your peers at the Kiwanis clubs is particularly meaningful because you are a central figure in the leadership and success of this wonderful organization. Just reviewing all the work you have done in the community, I'm struck by the scope of your support. You are a remarkable role model, and I can't even begin to estimate how many lives you have touched by choosing to take action and translating thoughts, hopes, and dreams into reality. As you are celebrated by your fellow Kiwanis Club members, I want you to know how much Albertans have benefited from your efforts and your sense of purpose and responsibility. The work you have accomplished continues to improve the quality of life for your fellow citizens. On behalf of the province of Alberta, and on a personal level as a fellow Kiwanian, it is with deep gratitude that I extend my sincere congratulations and warmest wishes. Yours truly, Dave Hancock. So Colin, that of course is a copy I was reading from. So this, sir, is the original letter from me. So that is for you. Now if I could ask my lovely assistant to give me a hand, we have a few video presentations.
Hey, Hannah.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah. So this is where you talk amongst yourselves to see.
Is that Hannah for life?
Drum roll. Let's see if this is going to work.
Well, while he is getting it, our first video is from Jane Erickson, who is an international trustee of the Board of Kiwanis International, who is just currently completing her 3-year term as an international trustee. She's a member of the Kiwanis Club of Bellevue, Orford, Nebraska, the past governor of Nebraska, Iowa. At one time, or recently, she was also a former councillor to the Western Canada District. So a number of us have had the chance to meet Jane. So our second video is from Jim Courtright of the Kiwanis Club of Phoenix. Jim is the immediate past governor of the Southwest District of Kiwanis, and for a number of years was a full-time employee of Kiwanis International as a club development officer and various other titles. They kept changing their titles. For his sins, Jim spent a lot of time trying to counsel and help the Western Canada District. So a number of us in this room have had fond memories of Jim, and I see he's wearing I think it's a Sherwood Park Kiwanis shirt, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, Peter.
Hi there, this is Jim Courtright from sunny Arizona. I'm sure glad you guys gave me a chance to say a couple things about my great friends up in Western Canada. I was thinking the other day about some of the things that had happened that was really fun, and I remember the first time I met most everybody as we were driving down from Calgary going down to Brooks for a midwinter conference. We were driving along in the car. I can't remember everybody was in the car, but I know Marin was in it, and I know Dirk was in it, and I'm quite sure Colin was in it as well. Well, we're driving along and I'm freezing. So I asked a silly question. I said, "What's the temperature outside?" Well, somebody tells me it's 40 below. I go, damn, how cold is that in Fahrenheit? They said, it's 40 below. Man, I'm in the car and I got a coat on. I go to look out the window to see the scenery, and I had to scrape ice off the window of the car on the inside. My God, I've never lived any place that cold. I think it was Colin that said, Jim, if you wouldn't talk so much, the hot air wouldn't freeze on the windshield. Na-na-na-na-na. I'm telling you, we were dying. We're driving not too far, then we see a little BP along the way, and we're gonna go in and get some pops, some goodies, fill up with gas. So I go in, I've got my gloves off, I've got a scarf on and my big bomber jacket. And we go in and use the restroom, and on the way out, I reach into the pop counter and get a Diet Coke and pay for it. And I'm standing out waiting for everybody else to come along, and sitting there and looking at the all-white scenery and going, oh my God, I'm warming my hands with something I just took out of the refrigerator. It was cold. The next thing, when we pulled into, oh, I can't believe this, we pulled into Brooks. First of all, I didn't know Canada had so many electric cars. You know, I thought you guys were still on diesel and all that, but in front of every parking spot, there was a light socket to plug your car in. They pointed out to me that that was not electric cars, you silly guy from the desert. That was to heat the engines up so the cars would run. We go into the hotel, and as we walk down the hall, in every room, there's a dog. And they're barking and walking around, and you can tell, every room. And I said, why in the world would the Canadians give you a dog with every room? And I thought, oh no, the story about a 3-dog night. I have to sleep with some strange dog? Well, come to find out, they were having a pheasant hunting contest, and all the contestants were staying at that hotel and had their dogs in the room with them. I was really frightened there for a while. I can remember some couple other things that's cute, and I think all of you remember this or have been a part of it. We're in Calgary one year. Again, I think this was in the summer, so it was nice. And he says, have you know much about Scotch? And I said, no, I don't drink Scotch, but I'm glad I'm in Canada because I like Crown Royal and, you know, Canadian whiskey. He says, well, we're going to have a little class tonight on Scotch. Why don't you come up to my room at so-and-so? Well, geez, I ought to be nice to these guys up here. I'll go see what Scotch is about. So I go up, and he pours us like 3 or 4 glasses. One's this many years old, and one's this many years old, and this one is this, and this one's single this, and double that, and blended, and all that. And he starts in this long, you've been there, haven't you? Long dissertation on Scotch. Now it starts out pretty boring because you're just having your first drink. But by the time we add water, try the 13-year to the 8-year, do this and do that, well, just to let you know, I don't remember the name of the song, but it's some military drinking or marching song. We're singing it at the top of our lungs, toasting the Queen, having a great time. I know it was wonderful because next morning my head hurt so bad I couldn't believe it. I also have the last thing to say that's something important to me. You know, I'm a little pudgy guy, 5'8", short, weigh 256. But I have a skinny picture. Let me tell you about my skinny picture. We're in Edmonton at a convention, it wasn't Edmonton, it was Montreal at an international convention. And I saw a group of guys standing over there that I know and love. It was Colin and Bruce Bevan. Were you there, Bruce? Marin Pierce. Marin was there. They're all standing there, and I decided to go up and talk to them. Somebody took a picture of us from a distance. I was the skinniest guy in the group. So I remember that picture and should probably carry it with me because year after year when I want to let myself know that I'm really not that heavy at that time, I just look at that picture. I not only was a foot shorter than everybody else, I was the thinnest one in the group. We're a healthy bunch of guys. Listen, I'm really glad. I wish I could be there with you guys. No scotch, but I'd take a Labatt's Blue. The one thing I do want to say, for all of you and my Western Canadian friends, stay Canadian strong. See you guys.
There's a rebuttal in the room.
So, one last few words from another friend who just got highlighted in Jim's little talk. Bruce Berman, the Kiwanis Tablet of Winnipeg, and another past governor, and the current international trustee. He says he would very much like to be here, but will be in Indianapolis, preparing for his first board meeting as a new trustee. But he said the following comments. Kiwanis is a unique organization, not only in the service we do, but also in the people we meet and with whom we establish friendships. I have known Colin for a number of years and got to know him better when we both served as governors in consecutive years about 10 years ago. I also got to know more of him when he kicked my butt in Red Deer a couple of years ago in the trustee election. My mild disappointment in losing was tempered by the knowledge that we were sending a first-class quality guy to represent us on the international board. I don't understand Colin's penchant for scotch, but I will take an exception and kindly raise a glass in a toast on Tuesday night. Seems to be a common theme here when Colin for scotch. At this time, I'd like to call upon Governor Roy.
Thanks, Ian. As mentioned by all of those who spoke earlier, Colin, you are being recognized because of your dedicated service to the community. Kiwanis, to the community, Kiwanis in the world. This is a better place to live because of your service and commitment. So if you just come up here, please.
I gotta show you something before he starts. The first thing I got tonight was a whoopee cushion.
Whoopee! How do I follow that? The Kiwanis Clubs of the Western Canada District are pleased to present you with this beautiful plaque, a pocket crest, and a pin. It's for your club, your name to go on the back. So, congratulations, well-deserved honor, you did a good job.
I'm not sure why you need to fight on this one, unfortunately. I don't know what's that one. Let's start by clarifying. I didn't go to Brooklyn. I came down on my own. But I think I was in the party that introduced me to Scotch. Let me also thank Susan, who I believe is responsible for all these tables there. That's a wonderful word. It takes a whole lot of work to put a Tablet of Honour together. And I've never been to a Tablet of Honour ceremony ever. So that's how rare that is. But let me suggest to you that it's not an individual award. It's an award that represents everything this district, this division, and my own club has done. And enough past governors in this room to show that here's where the leadership
for Western Canada came from, has come from, and probably will continue to come from for some time. So this truly is the work of all the clubs and all the clubs. And for that, I think. Can you demonstrate that? That ends the formal portion. But perhaps to see if you had your hand up, sir? No. No. Just talking with your hand. See if there's any other business for the good of Kiwanis. Maybe I'll start with Lieutenant Governor Peter. Do you have any items you want to bring up? Since we got a number of clubs here.
Vote for me. It's too late, right? Hazel's already said how easy it is to follow in terms of Lieutenant Governor, and she's looking for the car for Lieutenant Governor Division 6. So keep your eye open for this elusive car that goes with the job that Hazel thinks she's required.
So, did you wish to bring anything out to the floor?
Well, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out to our meeting. It's nice to have a diverse group, and to honor one of our members that is always an excellent example of how to do things. And I really hope he's going to give you some of these Scotch classes. It sounds quite interesting. And we'll let you know when we can be doing that at a regular meeting.
You're downtown, would you like to add anything?
Just thank you to Edmonton for this wonderful evening, to honor Colin, you know, looking and
Oh, Captain.
we want to add in?
Yes, not.
Thank you to South Edmonton for inviting us. And Dirk, I think it's Club Size of an Anchor Club.
Oh, well, yeah. And Margaret doesn't want to let me forget to mention that we have our club barbecue coming up in June. So we will be out promoting that in the very near future. Sure, with Margaret. June the 20th. Start with Margaret.
No, just again, nice to see so many friends and Kiwanis in one room. Thank you, South Edmonton, for a great room and a great place to host, and Colin for giving us a great reason to be here, and a fantastic room.
And Camrose.
Senator, does you think that? No. Well, thank you very much for having us.
So apparently we have no more business for the good of Kiwanis. I will therefore declare the meeting adjourned. This is your time to do two things. One of which, spend some more time in fellowship and talk to some of the people at the other tables. And I think the South Edmonton Club would appreciate a hand in cleaning up. Because,